All right, we just checked into the hotel in London, making our way to Chicago, and this is vlog number 1 of the Chicago Marathon race series. Let's go back to the house and start making our journey. The purpose of this vlog, though, is to highlight why Chicago Marathon is definitely bigger than running. The day was a normal day. It's a Thursday, I worked, Josiah went to school, and we then packed. This time I made sure passports, visas, all of that was in order, so all good, and we left. We left, and Jenny and Olivia took us to the airport, which was really cool for them to kind of send us off. Normally this is just me by myself, and I won't lie to you, there's advantages of doing that, but it's much better. It's much better doing this experience for the first time with Josiah. It's much better. So, the trek went from our station. We traveled all the way into London before then making our way to Heathrow and then eventually here at the hotel. And I just want to take you through my marathon journey, where I started from, why I started doing marathons. Berlin was my first ever marathon, and quite a humbling experience. The reason I say humbling, it's knowing you're getting opportunities to do very amazing things, and it's all through other people's kindness. So I did Berlin with Adidas and Believe in the Run. I was invited, I was given a bib, and that was such a humbling experience. And I ran my fastest, well, it was my fastest for a long time, 4 hours 25, being paced by somebody I consider to be a mentor, somebody I consider to be a friend, Thomas from Believe in a Run. Next up, let me just have some food and then I'll talk to you about New York. New York was humbling. New York was my slowest marathon ever. I've never ran a marathon this slow, and it was also the toughest. I had to walk for most of it. 4 hours and 59 minutes. I started walking at the halfway mark, the hills in New York, the weather, and it was after doing a few half marathons before, but it was a very humbling experience. Again, Thomas from Believe in a Run with New Balance invited me, and that was my second major ever. The next one after that was Osaka Marathon. I had the privilege of traveling all the way to Japan, experiencing a culture that I've never experienced before. And it was a mind-blowing experience, and that was with Mizuno. I ran that marathon in 4 hours and 47 and celebrated that because I had made an arrangement, I had made an agreement with myself that every marathon from New York was going to be faster than the last one. So New York 4:59, Osaka Marathon 4:47, I was absolutely convinced that any other marathon I run from 4:47 has to be faster. The amazing Boston Marathon, again with Adidas. The goal, run faster than 4:47. Now, everyone had told me about the hills in Boston, but just being the kind of marathon that it is, I wanted to respect it and give my everything, and I did. So I ran Boston Marathon 4 hours 29 minutes, very close to my 4:25 PB at Berlin. But it was a very hot day. The hills just don't play in Boston. And I realized something. To have managed 4:29 in Boston, to me, told me that if I ran again in Berlin, I'd definitely break that 4:25. But 6 days after that, was London Marathon. Stupid move, I know, but a blessing nonetheless. So Boston was on a Monday, and the following Sunday was London Marathon. Now, I live in England. London is a train ride away, so I consider that home. So to run a marathon at home with people that know who I am, and I ran that with the Cooper app, such a privilege. But if you ask anyone about London Marathon in 2025, they will tell you how hot of a day it was. It was punishing. Barbecue chicken pizza with some fries on the side. What are you gonna have? You might just need a second to see. And I ran that in 4 hours and 34 minutes. Now, I know that's going against the faster than the last marathon, but considering it was 6 days after, on the worst day that the London Marathon's ever experienced in terms of heat, I took that as motivation to kind of signal that I'm getting much better at this marathon stuff. The next thing was Sydney Marathon with the ASICS brand. You can't finish that. We'll get a takeaway box for the room. Through ASICS inviting me and offering me the place, I ran Sydney Marathon. And Sydney was special to me because it was the fastest one yet. Now remember, the previous personal best, the fastest marathon was Berlin, 4:25. And I ran Sydney Marathon 4:15. The good thing about that marathon is I kind of embrace ASICS slogan, a sound mind and a sound body, and I lost a whole lot of weight. I went from 91.2 kilos to 80 kgs on the start line for Sydney, and I'm so proud of that. And that's one way I will always remember and never forget the time I ran Sydney Marathon. So I gotta take my words back, because the guy's done what he said he would do. And so that brings us to Chicago. 5 reasons why Chicago Marathon is definitely bigger than running. Reason number 1, Chicago Marathon is with Josiah. That has never happened before. I mean, we do the local events together. That's special. Second reason, Thomas. I get to see Thomas from Believe in the Run again. And I'm excited about that because of who he is. Get to be part of Believe in the Run for the weekend is absolutely mind-blowing. And so that I can't wait for. Reason number 3, I plan to run the fastest marathon I've ever ran, ever. I plan to make this a personal best. Now, we normally hear personal best, and those words to me start sounding cliche. I like to put it this way, that my body will achieve something it's never done before. That's the goal. So, I want 4 hours, 10 minutes. But I'm actually gonna go out at 4 hours pace. Just gonna put it on the line and see what happens.
Doors opening. Lift going up.
We're on the 4th floor, which is pretty good because I'm about to give you the 4th reason. Now, the 4th reason, now I know people hate me saying stuff like this, but it's so true. I've never managed to work a project with the Nike brand before, but this whole thing has been done through the kindness of the Nike brand, the bib to go run Chicago Marathon. And sometimes people hate influencers, YouTubers getting places like this. But this is gonna bring me to reason number 5.
Reason number 5, we're going to Chicago. It's my first time in the USA. Never been there before. Want to try the food, because I like food.